Are you doing, beloved?
Attention, attention, my black brothers. What I want y'all to do right now is take out the do-rag, the silky, tie it down. I want to see the waves glistening. If you got nappy hair, pick it. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Ariel.
Black boy.
You all, like Coachella, Frank Ocean announced that he will be like headlining 2003's Coachella, y'all. Like, what are y'all feeling about that? Like Coachella, like, and Frank, like, what's up?
I was thinking about Frank Ocean a lot, especially since I'm in New Orleans, which hometown. So I'm really excited because I feel like he's been going for a long time. I don't know whether to like applaud Frank for taking out the time he needs to like get himself together, or to just be irritated that like the last time I heard music from him was like what, 4 years ago, maybe.
Was it that long ago?
It might have been 3, but it's been a minute. Yeah. But I'm excited, right? I mean, you won't see me at Coachella. I can't really envision myself being at a festival. I can't for the next like 6 to 7 years. But I'm very excited for him. I hope that it goes very well.
Excited for the stream.
Right, the stream. Wait, did y'all see like Lollapalooza and like what was it, Rolling Loud? Like the pictures of like all of those people out there. I said, now that is the Delta variant right there. Now that is where that's what you call an outbreak.
It looked like one big sneeze.
And I saw somebody's tweet and they were like, ooh, I tested positive, so everybody who came in contact with me should get tested. And I'm like, bro, who told you to go to a fucking festival anyway?
The people have been wanting to do this for so long. And the fact that they got some form of a green light, they just went ham. And I was like, good luck to y'all, because I know in September we're gonna have some cases.
It was an inopportune time. Like it's been 2 months of us being aware of the Delta variant. Like it hasn't been very long, but we all know about it, and they just were like, "Yeah, we go on." Watch from
history is just gonna continue to repeat itself. Because like, remember when they were trying to tell us about COVID last year, and we was like, okay, so anyway. until they shut us down. Like,
and then they said, lock it down now.
It's going to happen again. We're about to be spending this Halloween right at home. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat right at the door. Come on, y'all better put it through the mailbox or something, I guess.
Through the mailbox.
I'm like, but what is up, everybody? It is your boy, lordevery.
And I'm derwinking.
And welcome back to another episode of That Black Boy Joy, where we create a space where Black boys can be themselves.
And so much more.
And you all gays, days, and what is it? Gays, days, and them? Oh, gays, days, and them. Bitch. Sorry, I was trying to get it, girl. Welcome back, y'all. We are back. We have a guest, as you all may have heard. We have a guest in the building with us. We have Courtney, aka Courtney Revolution, with us. How are you doing, Courtney?
I am doing just divine and magical. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful. The weather's good.
Yeah, so personally, life is coming together like in a transition period, but other than that, it's exciting. So I feel excited.
Yeah, same for me. I'm definitely in a better space than I've been in a couple of months because of the pandemic and then also my job issues. And now, I'm feeling like really good and I'm like really excited for what is happening with my future right now. So that is good. But let's introduce Courtney for you all so y'all can get to know him a little bit more. Courtney, aka Courtney Revolution, is an entertainment and podcast host and digital creator. He is currently known for being a contestant on the second season of the hit Netflix series. So he can also come out on YouTube where he covers celebrity and entertainment news and reacts to new music and music video releases. His YouTube live show, The Green Chair Chats, and the podcast Overheard in the Pantry, where he is a co-host and he discusses happenings in celebrity culture, the YouTube community, and more. Courtney, how are you? What is up?
Ooh, I loved that. And I felt like I'm about to come out and get my Grammy or something like that. Or
it.
More like a Teen Choice Award. Let's be realistic.
Oh, not a Teen Choice.
I'm about to get my surfboard.
Not even like a VMA. Like
No. Look, we got to keep it real. My ass would get a Teen Choice Award.
Okay. Listen.
And my ass would be happy to run up there and collect it. Thank you.
We are realistic. What does Black Boy Joy mean to you, and what brought you joy today? We asked our guests all the time.
I think Black Boy Joy to me is just freedom. You know, I feel like I can remember so many times where I was looked at strange for the way I expressed my Black Boy Joy, which I mean, when I was younger, was I love to wear bright colors that never matched because my parents gave me the freedom to just pick out my clothes from a young age, you know? And so Black Boy Joy for me is just being able to express myself and be free. As far as what brought me joy today, I think that my life being in a different place than it was last year in a positive way is what brought me joy today, because you know we go through our trials and tribulations and we struggle and we hurt, but for me personally it's because I've always believed that there's something positive on the other side that I've been able to achieve. So just waking up today and being like, you know what, damn, I'm in a different era today, good job me.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good job. Good job. You doing a good job. No, I respect that. I think that's the same mindset I've been having really these past couple of weeks. And I want to say this last month was definitely like, girl, you woke up today and you are alive and you are breathing and you're healthy and you are here. Grateful for that and be thankful that you are able to say that and see that right now instead of being like, what if this, what if that? I was living in a space of what if, and that was kind of like toxic. So I think that definitely, I agree with that, has definitely brought me joy too, is talking with my therapist and being like, girl, you on the path, you getting there, you all right. What about you, Derwin?
You know, I'm up here.
You're busy. I think you're moving.
Yeah, but I feel so, and just to be clear, because I feel like when we talk about transition, it often is this sort of like there's this sort of like looming sadness about it. And I felt that beforehand, but now it's just sort of like I'm excited, and my mind is in like 1,000 different places. I did want to say something, Courtney, about your definition of Black Boy Joy. It brought what has been consistent about a lot of our guests is that there was a period of adjusting, of having to learn how to live in that Black Boy Joy. And it really drives home the fact that Black Boy Joy is really revolutionary for us, and it's transformative because it's something that everyone has, almost everyone has expressed having limitations to, and then sort of like breaking through. So I wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
I respect that as well. Now we're going to get into our Black Boy Joy Spotlight like we always do. And this week's Black Boy Joy Spotlight is a man by the name of OBO, aka OBO Jones. OBO is a YouTuber, content creator, and podcaster. He tailors his content to authenticity and real intentional conversation. He labels himself the Black Gay Coach on his channel and also has created a space where he allows men like us to tell our individual stories. You all can check him out on social media at OBO Jones and the podcast Brown Skinned Banter.
Love that.
Always I talk so fast, so it's like so I just have to be. Derwin is always like, "Girl, breathe." I'm like, I am trying to.
That's just how it come out.
But we are going to get into some hot topics like we always do. And the first one is, okay, so Kanye, I guess, wanted to reintroduce Donda back to the world. So he had another stadium live stream. How are y'all feeling about that? Also, I seen a video. It looked like a prison to me. Like he was in there working out, the gym scene. He like moved into like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. To me, I was like, he wants to like simulate like social experiment.
When I tell you, I could literally care less about what Kanye does. I'm just so uninterested. It was so odd because I saw the photos and I was just like, when did I become so apathetic toward this man? So I guess my thoughts are that, like, you know, if it's working, shout out to him, more power to Kanye. But I think there's a number of people who could literally not care any less about what he's doing and how he's doing.
I think I could care less too, but I'm always just fascinated. Like, what the hell is he thinking of? Like, what is the next thing that this? I will admit he is a creative genius in my opinion. Like his brain, He's like a mastermind. But I'm always like, what's the point of you giving this like prison simulation to me?
You'll be hard pressed to find out. If you're looking for logic in anything that Kanye West does, you're going to be extremely hard pressed to figure it out. So I wouldn't even waste my time or energy doing so. And that's just facts, honey.
Algorithm.
I think for me, I didn't see like the full live stream, but I did see like a clip of Kanye like ascending to the ceiling.
He was going to heaven.
and I have a fear of heights, so that freaked me out. But I don't know. When I think about Kanye, I always think that there is this untreated mental health like he's bipolar, like it's diagnosed, he's refusing to take his medicine, so like
Right.
I know I'm like in the minority, but like I always go into everything that Kanye does with like, well, if he would take his medicine or go and get help, then maybe he would have his wife. And I mean, Kim showed up. She got the ski mask on. But I don't know. It all is strange to me. And I think at the core of it all, I just want Kanye to get help so that people can, I don't want to say take it easier on him, but try to have just a teaspoon of understanding, because you can't make sense out of nonsense. You get what I'm saying? Right. And I think that with Kanye, there's a lot of nonsense going on there.
And he tries to justify it. Like he definitely tries to, and it's just like, girl, if 1 + 1 = 2 and 3 + 3 = 6, how the fuck did you get like 11? Like I'm trying to like, what, like make it. But I will say, I did see a video of him back in the day. I don't know if it was like college dropout days or whatever the case may be, but like he was talking about like representation and like gay rappers, and we need that. And I was like, what in the world? I was like,
you're not a dumbass. Like he's not stupid. You know, like he's just unwell. Like honestly,
he's unwell.
I just had this conversation. He is unwell. I had this conversation last night about how creatives who have been diagnosed with mental illness, with mental illness, have a tendency to believe that taking medication will stifle our creativity. And this is as someone who has a diagnosis. And then, so stopping taking the medication feels like a good idea. Like I'm going to be able to produce. And the reality of the matter is it's more detrimental than it isn't. And you just kind of have to find the sweet spot of being able to create and still taking the medication so that you can function. And I think Kanye is just under this very strong belief that he won't have access to his genius if he takes the medication. And I just think that that's unfortunate. And I mean, I know that people have enjoyed the projects he's been making while he's been off of it, but I'm curious to know what it would look like if he were actually healthy and creating.
That is true. Well, I'm looking forward to what he puts out. I will say I'm looking forward to what he puts out. I hope that it is quality content. It looks like he's putting some work into this. The stadiums are packed, honey, for the re-releases. So when Donda comes out, please give us your thoughts because we want to know. And then our girl Beyonce has dropped a rodeo collection of Ivy Park. Like, I was just confused on what's this, like the rodeo part of it. Like, are we, is this for cowboys? Is this for like people that like train horses?
I want it. I've been singing daddy lessons all day, so I didn't know this happened. And I was walking down the street, just getting to know the city. And I was like, I want to sing daddy lessons. And I was like, Beyonce really put me on to the yeehaw. So when I saw the rodeo,
not the yeehaw.
You know, I think it was 2019 was the year of the yeehaw. Yeah, it was, child. So I definitely want this. I am a full Southerner now, or at least a baby Southerner. So I'm trying to get into it. The pictures were great. Loved her hair. And I just always love it when Beyonce embraces her Southern self. And I love it that she's incorporating that into her franchise.
I saw some sneakers in one of them campaign photos that I want. And I haven't been able to take my mind off of them since I saw them. Now, Beyonce need to go on ahead and send me not a whole box, but just a box of those sneakers.
Period.
That's it. That's my thoughts. They were like blue and cream, and they had like some sort of not a platform, but they were like a chunky kind of soul moment. And I said, I need that. I want to kick somebody in the chest with those.
Yeah, when she was sitting in front of the hay.
That's that no pictures kick. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are cute.
They are cute.
Yeah. Has she dropped the orange collection? I don't know. Has she dropped that yet? I'm not sure. I'm not going to buy any Ivy Park. It's nothing that's like, I feel like with Ivy Park, like it's pieces, right? It's like specific pieces. And if you buy it, you got to know how to dress it up because like it's staple pieces. And like, if you wear it, like, or you can't keep wearing it over and over because it's like Ivy Park across or Ivy Park. Like to me, it's like it's like pieces that I just don't know if I can like just put into an outfit or at least wear multiple times.
That's the idea. I think anybody who is creating fashion today, or that's sort of like fashion culture, right? Like you buy these statement pieces that you clearly can't wear more than once. And if you do, people will know unless you find some way to really switch it up. But the idea is for you to keep buying. There are some staple pieces in Ivy Park. I've been more impressed with the last two releases. You remember that first one I was not a fan of.
Yeah, it was the brown, right? Wasn't it like brown?
It was that and that green, that like mint green color.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand that shit. But when she came out with that nude one, I was here for it, honey. I was like, that's it. She's the girl. That's the one.
She's grabbed
That's
me.
the one.
She's grabbed me by my inches and she's taking my coins. And that's what you wanted. Well,
wow, I love her.
I can't wait for the collection to drop for you, all of my Beehive stands and all of it. I already know people are already ready to save up their money. I am over here still trying to buy PS5. I'm just saying I can't wait for those things to go back in stock. So that's what I'm going to be putting my money to.
Fair enough.
But the girls are going to, support the Beehive. And
Always.
we are going to get into the reason we are here, you all, the meat and potatoes, the main course, the entree, Courtney. So, Courtney, get comfortable, relax with us. And the first thing we want is for you to tell the listeners, we already gave you the introduction, but you might have your own introduction that you have for yourself. Please tell our listeners who you are. And also, we encourage our guests to also like bring up their accolades. We want people to feel comfortable in the successes that they have. Oftentimes we are taught to dim our lights, but we do not want that on our show. So please, if you have accolades that you want to, put out there as well, you can, but we would love for you to tell us, our listeners, a little bit about who you are.
Hi, everybody. A little bit about me is I am currently a entertainment, pop culture podcast host, what have you. Started my podcast with my best friend Felicia about 2 years ago. And I mean, I feel like it's so weird to talk about myself because I'm so used at this point to like being described by other people. But I mean, I love celebrities and pop culture, and that love has always been prominent in my life. So when I started my YouTube channel in 2008, I just sort of talked about celebrities off and on in the background, working at like Disney World as for an internship. I was initially going to go into fashion as my career, but I couldn't afford FITM once I got accepted. So, I mean, I have always just relied on my passion, which was commentary. So in terms of accolades, I would say my most prominent job before the circle came into my life was I worked for a YouTube channel where it was all based around celebrity commentary, but not necessarily celebrities that I naturally gravitated to. So like Kardashians and the Justin Biebers and stuff. So I made
the
it
white folks.
The white folks, absolutely. But I made it my mission to play their game, but in my own way. And by doing that, I was able to sort of cement myself within that company all the way up. I worked there 2.5 years up until literally right before the show was announced. I just woke up one day and the job position department eliminated itself. But being able to reach so many people, I mean, this YouTube channel had millions of subscribers. Being able to reach people on a streamed live daily 5 days a week talk show, that has been like my biggest accolade or my biggest like, damn, I did that moment before the circle. Like there are people in my comments now on Instagram that are like, girl, fuck the circle, we know Courtney from the morning tea. Like that, that's why
that's what I knew you from as well. I loved your commentary. It gave me that I knew that's what I said before. So when you were announced or when you posted that you were on the circle, I was like, where have you been? I was like,
oh God.
I was like, this is the reason.
Not the T tribe.
I said, and then bada bing, bada boom, I said, the girl she got a job. I said, the girl got, but I appreciate your commentary because it was sometimes in those spaces where it's predominantly like the Kardashians or the Justin Biebers, it is very white, as I will say, and I like that you did your part, but also gave that blackness that I always look for. Because the entertainment world is enamored with the white celebrity culture, and I definitely want to see us in a positive light because we do have like the shade rooms and all that stuff, which is not kind of positive. Yeah. But I love that we have. I mean, to be honest, I don't follow all of those, so I appreciate you doing that. But how did you get into culture commentating, and also like what made you just like love talking about celebrities? Because you said that earlier that like you just had that conversation.
You want me to be honest? I think that
yes.
when I was younger in middle school, I would be like the telephone, like people would always just come and tell me their business, and then I would go and tell everyone else their business. And I remember my dad being like, you can't do, like my dad would be like furious, like you can't do that. Like, and so I don't know. I think it was like one day I like picked up like one of these little raggedy supermarket magazines, and I was like, damn, Britney Spears, they stalking her ass. Like, you know, back in the day when they was fought, when Britney couldn't leave the damn house. It was something about that. And, you know, at the time we had like Nicole Bitchie, Perez Hilton. And there was something about that I felt like, well, I could be a bitch with a computer and just talk about their ass. Like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to be a journalist for the longest time. But then I was like, if I'm going to write, I want to write creatively. YouTube was kind of like popping off, and we had Trey Melvin, Kingsley, the icons, the Kid Fury, like on YouTube. And I was like, well, man, where my hat is at? Because I could do that. And it literally was just for years of me doing that until literally I woke up one day. I had moved out to LA. I did my Disney internship. I got my little community college degree. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to LA. And if it happens for me, if it's meant to happen for me, it will. And I was like making chicken Chipotle sandwiches at Panera. And I opened up my computer one day, as most people do. And I went on Indeed and I just typed in YouTube. And literally the very first listing was co-host for pop culture, strong opinions needed. And I was like, oh, girl, well, bitch, I've been doing that for free. I was doing that shit for free for the little AdSense. I need a check. And so when I went into the interview, I said, well, how can I be different? And they said, because, you know, they like to box you into stuff. And they said, okay, well, you probably hate Taylor Swift, right? And immediately I said, because I had done my homework before I had the interview, I watched the YouTube channel. I said, well, they love Taylor Swift here. And I don't hate Taylor Swift. I said, well, she's one of the greatest songwriters of our generation. Why would you think that I hate Taylor Swift? Hired.
Was that because they thought because you're black, or
they thought that I was going to be the person to come in and just drag all of the white celebrities? But no, there's a perspective to everything. You cannot box me into a character because you never know what I'm going to say, and you never know what my opinion really is going to be, which is why our live show, when we wound up developing that just randomly, because it was free, and our bosses didn't care. That's why it did so well, because you would watch, because you really would never know what me or my co-host would say. Because I mean, you might think I like Khloe Kardashian today, and then tomorrow I'm saying she's on her third face. You just never know. And I think that is what they appreciated.
I enjoy that. I think the funny thing about it is I do that now. I go to LinkedIn and I'm like, YouTube, or I'm like, jobs in LA. I didn't know that. I haven't seen it yet, but like you gave me that still to keep trying. I still look like
every day.
Commentary.
I do it with podcasts all the time.
Yeah.
I want to know why the hell you auditioned for the circle.
before I answer that, can I ask y'all something?
Yes.
Can y'all tell how very different I am from the television program just based off of this very brief meeting?
Yes, I can, but I still see what you wanted to bring.
Right.
Thank
But
you.
yes.
So the show had come out. Me and my friend are on the couch. It's like the big ass thing on Netflix when you open up Netflix, and we watch the first episode, and literally the episode ends, they do the cliffhanger. It's like the credits are rolling. I look at my friend and I was like, bitch, this is the one. And she's like, bitch, this is the one. Because I had auditioned in the past for like the Big Brother, or like back in the day when I really was like, bitch, I'll speak for myself. I knew a lot of kids, including myself, when I was like 15, 16. I said, bitch, I can't wait to grow up and be on the Real World. And that is my career.
Seven Strangers. What house?
There was no life past that. It was the Real World. And then, bitch, I'm going on Real World Road Rules Challenge, bitch. And I'm gonna be Coral, bitch, period.
Yes.
I know that's right.
I said, bitch, I'm gonna be right by Anissa. Like there was no career. It was just, I'm going to be on the, so when it didn't happen, it was like, okay, whatever. But something about the circle was like, bitch, they by themselves and I don't want to be around nobody. I'm feeling that. The host is funny. Shout out Michelle Buteau. It was just something about it. So the audition had come out. We got sent home from work, the job I was just telling you about, and they sent me home with a Mac. I don't even own a Mac. And I just was like, home, like, all right, I'm gonna apply to this. And literally people think that I did like some special video, or like, it literally was like, okay, what is it, photo booth? You like press record, and I was like, hey y'all, I'm Courtney, and girl, I'm from Los Angeles, and girl, I'm the pop culture host, but I ain't gonna tell they ass that though, because girl, I'm going at something else. I'm gonna spill the tea, and and 55 seconds, and it was no edits, no, I just sent the shit off. Like, I don't have time. Like, girl, it's either it's being sent in today or it's not being sent in. And I did it because I needed the money. I still need the money, per se, from my dad. And I really felt like, what a way for me to express my love for my dad, who we've had a rocky relationship growing up, but we've gotten to a better place, as some kids do with their parents. And I really fucking love him. And what a full circle, not being annoying way to go on TV and be like, you know what, bitch? Me and my dad, we used to fight like cats and dogs, but bitch, I'm gonna bring this buddy home for his bald head ass. Like, wait, this? Like, that's how I was going in, and period. That was it. And I was only honest. So like, when you go through the processes of them like constantly asking you like, well, why do you want to be on the show? Why do you want to be on the show? People probably get cut because their asses be lying and tripped up and trying to be characters or whatever. I really was trying to play for my bald head ass daddy. For real. Like, and that's all I kept saying was like, my dad is sick. He has kidney disease. But like, also I spilled the tea. But like, my dad is sick and I need the money. And that's just it.
Oh my God. So you were before you asked us a question about you being different than what you portrayed or what was edited or what was shown on the show. What made you ask us that?
I asked y'all that because I love to visibly, I've noticed, watch people's reactions after interacting with me for a few seconds, and they are visibly confused. Like, I don't know if they think I'm gonna do a split. I don't know if they think I'm gonna like do a dip upon meeting me, or like, come on, bitch, here's a shot. I'm like, I'm literally like in the corner, like I'm like in the bar with like my boyfriend, like trying not to be seen, like sip, and people are like, Courtney, let's buy you a shot, let's go. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so good to see.
Shablam for me, shablam.
Oh, yes.
Shablam.
Fucking shablam.
Gosh.
So it's just interesting. I just like to check in and see how everyone's doing.
Well,
am I giving, what I'm supposed to be giving, which is just me?
We appreciate anybody coming here and being their authentic self. My expectation is that nobody come here expecting us, to expect for something else from you, right? Like I don't show up here as anybody else, and Debbie doesn't either. So you
Motherfucker,
come as you
don't.
are, and that's what we want.
I love that.
No, thank you. We love you.
It's also funny is and I think we could talk about this later, is that us being visibly queer Black gay men, immediately we are this like accessory, or we're turned to give me a snap and a twist or because that is some traits that we do have, and we are dramatic, we are who we are, but we are not doing that. Some of us, I'm not going to say, are doing that to for attention. So when you come up to us, and I've had white girls specifically come up to me and be like, okay girl, let's get, I'm like, you can't call me girl. Now my female friend that I've known, she can call me sis, honey, mama, all that, but the girl that met me at the bar cannot tell me to, yes girl, your outfit slay. And it's like,
I'm quick to correct. I kid you not. I'm like, all right, girl, you can calm that down.
We're that
don't
token.
Do it
for real.
That token, and I don't like that. So when you, I say something.
Yeah. Were you at all nervous when you found out you were going to be on there?
I want to say this.
Pause. Look at that pause.
Okay. Do you want to know? Was I nervous when I found out I was on the show? Or do you want to know, was I nervous when I found out I had to fly to England? Because there's two different...
The show. And we can definitely talk about England, because I get it, but the show.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because when you research where the fuck the show is shot, you don't know unless you know like the landmarks and the landscape. And also The Circle was originally, I think, was a UK show. So yes, I kind of was like, bitch, where the fuck are they at? I was like, are they showing clips of like the old show? But we got some tea. It is okay. We're both.
So what happens is the show originated in the UK. So it tapes in Manchester, and we're flown out there. First of all, I've never been out of the country. So to answer both questions, yes, I was nervous because I've never been out of the country. It was COVID as fuck. I didn't even have a passport. A bitch had to scarf up and get in the Uber and go to the damn passport and cheese and then put that shit back on, girl. Don't breathe on me, girl. And I was nervous because they, and I can say this, I believe, you are not on the show officially until you've told your job you ain't coming for God knows how long, and you done told your mom, girl, I'm flying cross country, and you are in the apartment, and you done been there 2 weeks, and you done been swabbed, and then you move in with the chaperone, and then you go for a couple walks, and then you have to shoot your profile shoot, the hi, I'm Courtney, and da-da-da-da. God. If you do not pull out your best drag race acting skills and you hear them rattlesnake noises, your ass is cut.
Well,
your ass is cut. So you can fly all the way out to England and waste your time and be paid probably, and not be on the show. You have to literally bring it all the way up until you are in front of them and that camera is there and they are asking you questions like this shit is the real world.
Oh my God. Wow. Was there ever any moment where you were like, girl, I'm tired of like this show? Was there moments where you're just like, girl, can I like breathe? Like,
how often shit?
I'm gonna preface this by saying I can't cook and I'm hypoglycemic. And then I went to the UK.
Ooh, all right.
Love y'all down over in the UK. Love my babes. Yeah. But as from what I experienced, the food was not hitting.
That's what Twitter be saying, child.
Miss Nando's was hitting.
Beans and toast. I know.
Lucky Charms, because that was what was on my grocery list. Beans and toast, my ass.
Oh,
I'll have Lucky Charms. I'll have Greek yogurt. Can y'all find that? Because I like Chobani.
Yeah,
it was like Chobani. To answer your question, yes, and the reason why is because I'll speak for myself. I personally felt like I had to be on way past my own personal threshold. So I can give you Kiki girl if that's what y'all need. But imagine, because also there's no clocks. So I'm going to guesstimate. Imagine waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you got to be the Kiki girl and you the Kiki girl and you the Kiki girl and go and have lunch and then get your ass in the shower and then you the Kiki girl and you the Kiki girl and you the Kiki girl all the way up until it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You done Kiki'd all goddamn day. So by the time it's like day, if I could guesstimate, 10, I had a full on like, y'all not gonna get me crying on these cameras, but can I go to the psychologist, please? Like, cause like I was like, I'm about to lose it. I was about to Khalees, I hate y'all so much right now. I was like, can y'all get me the fuck out of here? Cause I'm about to snap like rubber bands.
I'm glad you brought that up, the psychology part, because I was like, was that something you answered? I'm glad that was something that was provided for you all, but like how frequently, and this is probably, I don't know, how frequently were you able to interact with them throughout? Because I know that being, like you said, being on a lot is mentally exhausting. And then think about, oh my God, what are people thinking of me? What did I do? I'm representing my family. I'm representing my dad. Like, so how often were you able to interact with the therapist?
Whenever I wanted. Whenever I wanted, but if I could be honest with y'all, I'm not a disruptor. I don't want to bother nobody. I'm a yes, ma'am. I'm a hold the door. Like they were like, oh my God, it's so funny that you say yes, ma'am. I'm like, sis, I grew up with manners. And so like, even if I needed the therapist mid-game, which I did, I needed it mid-game. I waited until I won that shit. And then I was like, y'all ain't even know. It was so, the cut was so clean how they did it. I can look at it and go, right after there. That. I was like, that I knew the thug tier was building up, and I was like, you had to give them the Dawson's Creek. To
Sharon, hit room 1020, please. 1020. She's about to break.
I was like, someone come get me, cause somebody producer, cause nah. Yeah, but yeah, they were there. They let us know, like, if you ever need like. Because we are being watched 24/7.
Well, it's also good that after the show, you still were in contact with, of course, Savannah and other people on the show. How was that afterwards for you all? Like leaving the house, y'all are like in like LA based. Like, how was it after y'all left? Like, oh, child, like we can now be ourselves.
It was really nice. And the reason why is because I think that you don't realize like the impact that words have when you say them, and I feel like people listening are going to be like, not what I'm about to say, but I said on the show, like, it's hard for me to make friends, right, in LA. Not that I don't have any. So it was nice that we had already had a built-in camaraderie coming back to LA. And a lot of people no one saw, but they also didn't realize that part of the reason why I was going so hard for Savannah was, why would someone that's telling me that they're my neighbor sit up here and lie to me, and I gotta see your ass around the corner when we get back home at the Whole Foods?
Right.
My ass is not gonna lie to me because I'm gonna catch her ass in the aisle. Like, it's right. Not like if we had already like, girl, when we get back home, girl, we gonna meet up after the, like, there was so much that y'all didn't get to see, but it was really nice when we came back to be like, oh my God, like to sit down, right? And be like, okay, this was my piece of the puzzle. Girl. And what was they telling you, girl? And you sit down with Mitchell.
No, that's right.
And Mitchell was like, well, they were freaking telling me this, and they weren't letting me freaking talk to you. Like, it was like we sat down and we, now we know how this happened. It's the same thing even when Delisa actually just flew in to see us recently, and me, her, and Jack was at the sushi bar. But we had the sake, and we was putting all pieces. Even today, we are still like, putting the pieces together because, it's a TV show.
That's crazy.
And when Chloe ass come in 2 weeks, we going to get some extra pieces too, girl. We going to get the pieces too, babes. We going to get those pieces too, babes.
Chloe. So do y'all watch the show and like play it back, like, okay, at this
Right.
moment, this is what really happened. Like, you know, because of course they edited. Did you ever watch that and like piece by piece and be like, no, you know?
We did for the first couple episodes. Like when it first came out, we all watched the first like 4 together.
Yeah.
But after that, I started watching like the second batch with like my friends from home, and then like the other batch, like my mom was calling me, she wanted to watch it. And so off and on, I feel like we need to have a night where we really do sit down and piece by piece, because they made sure y'all didn't see, but not often y'all didn't see, but I had written down everything that had happened on every single day. I knew exactly how I was going to rate people days ahead of time. I had scenarios, like if this person go home, all right, this is how we going to vote. I think that's why they were able to make such a strong edit of me, because it was like, well, Courtney, what are you gonna do? It was like, well, girl, I already know what I'm about to do because it's already written down, girl. Mitch is not coming up out of 5. Yeah, Trevor is not coming up out of last place. That's why Trevor is not nobody's influence. Like I was already having it, but they wasn't showing y'all how he was voting, so y'all ain't know why it was happening.
Yeah. Your last one. So really quick, I'll let you go ahead.
Whatever
but
y'all want
last
to know.
One, the last part where you were friends with
River,
Lee, and you purposefully, you know, was like, a girl, I gotta put him down at the bottom because we know, you know, I think that was smart to me, but I understand viewers watching that would have looked like, oh my God, you and him were so loyal, and then you purposefully put him at the end. It's like, at the end of the day, like, girl, this is a game. Like, I can't, if you know this person has a very strong social game, why, if I want to win this money for my father, like, I have to take myself out of this emotion and be realistic, because River could have been the number one. So I think that was smart. But then again, people looking at that as we see in the media looked at that as you being a villain and all of that, which I was like, yes, y'all want to say the villain.
I'm like, ain't nobody ever seen Big Brother before? Y'all ain't never seen Survivor. They asses be lying. Listen. I just really recently got back into Survivor just a little bit. They be lying their asses off on Survivor. And y'all mad at a little Joker moment? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that. That shit pissed me off. They be lying about dead grandmothers. They be like, girl, we're going to keep your ass. And then they pull out the little notes at the tribal council and it be someone completely different. Lying their asses off.
With the 10-0 vote.
With the 10-0 vote. Asses lying.
I don't get a sympathy.
That I lied on Emily?
I don't get the fuck out of here. But Derwin, you can go ahead.
Do you have any regrets at all?
No.
Good. I love that.
Good.
No. I got to be on TV, on Netflix, the big red N. I got to be on The Girl.
And trending. Right. And trending.
When that contract ends, I could go.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because the girls are
calling.
So just the fact that they even if I wouldn't have got on the show and they flew my ass out to England, I had a good ass time in the quarantine apartment watching Married to Medicine. I had never watched Married to Medicine ever in my life. And I got up in the flat.
Bitch, that's my show.
I got up in the flat. And Toya and Miss Mariah.
Oh, honey.
Bitch. No, never come down on my chariot. Woo, I throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart. I was getting my life hollering in there. They had to get me out of there.
Oh my God, yeah, you're my favorite person in the world.
Derwin, listen, he loves them girls from Married to Medicine. He has knocked the Atlanta Housewives down and said, it is the Married to Medicine.
Honey, it is Dr. Jackie and Miss Quad over here, honey.
I respect that, because I think about that Quinta Benson meme of her being at the Olympics, and they're like, so you didn't come in first place. She's like, girl, I'm black and I'm here at the slopes. Like, I got silver. I'm perfectly fine. They're like, but you really lost. Like, girl, did you get silver?
Yeah, what do you have?
Oh, okay. I said, did I only lost to Delisa and Chloe. They making it seem like I lost to like everyone else.
And you were revealed. It got to the point where you were able at the final table where everybody was like, you made it to the end, girl.
They didn't even show y'all there was so much cut out of the finale, which is why I wish that there was enough content, I imagine, to do like the final dinner as one episode and then the finale with Michelle as a different episode, because it really was like the gag when Michelle went like, well, who is the Joker? Who is the Joker? Who's the Joker? And everyone was like, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person. Yeah. Girl. And
it was court.
the reactions were very, very unhappy. But they made
Mm.
sure that those reactions hit the editing room floor. But that's some tea that y'all could have.
Oh, well.
Not everybody was happy.
Oh my gosh. Well, as someone that is unapologetically themselves and allowing their intersections of being Black and queer to like shine bright, how did you get to that point? Like, how did you get to being so comfortable in your skin and even showing the world that as well, which can be nerve-wracking to be like, okay, I'm gonna let y'all know a little bit about how the girl acts. Like, how was that for you? And did you have any roadblocks getting there?
I think my parents probably helped the most. Like, I'm awkward as hell. But my parents have always been the one to be like, do you like this is your life, girl, and it is yours to live. So as long as you're not hurting anybody or hurting yourself, do your thing. They have never really put restrictions on me in terms of like my life or like creatively or my sexuality. They've always been like, well, girl, of course. Now, anyway, what do you want from Miss McDonald's, sweet and sour or BBQ? Like, you know what I mean? Like everything, like they've always just been very, very supportive of me. So when it came to the circle, it was like, I'm gonna be on reality TV. My mom literally was like, "What?" I was like, "Girl, I'm about to be on. Girl, I'm going to England." Like, like they were like, "Of course." Like my dad was like, "Of course you're going to England." I'm like, "No, but it's for us though. It's for us." He was like, "Oh," like they've always just been my biggest cheerleaders. Like for real, the truth.
I appreciate that. That's actually we've gotten that a couple of times from our guests, and I think it is one of the more beautiful things because I think we're so used to hearing the story of people like being alienated when they're kids. And what I hope most of the time is that there are people, younger people, who listen to the show and see experiences like yours, and are like, "Yeah, this could work well for me."
Yeah, I think with my story is like I root for my dad a lot, and I think that is not the story that is always told for queer Black boys. Is that your number one cheerleader or your father is somebody that is proud of you and you are wanting to make them happy throughout. And I think that is something that is like a great story, and that's like something that we need to see more. Is like we always see the strained relationship, the father neglects, and it's like that is what happens, but like there's moments where you're like, no, this is for me and my dad. You know, we may have had those roadblocks, but like we understand each other as men at least, and as his son and my dad. And I really appreciate that story. And I think that was something I was like really I enjoyed when I watched the show because that's how I am with my father. So I was able to see somebody on the show be like, I would go in for my dad and I would talk about him 25-8. They'd be like, okay, what about your mom? I'm like, she there. But my dad, he was the one that was at the game with me. But Derwin, you know, but
I do.
has there been any roadblocks for you being outwardly yourself in the entertainment industry?
Honestly, I think that people, in terms of roadblocks, yes, to answer the question.
Yeah.
I think that when you go out to audition, people definitely think before you even walk in the door, okay, this is what he's going to give. And I always go in and give to the best of my ability. But when it's not in their mind, stereotypically what you should be giving, and to know that you're deserving of that opportunity, it is annoying. But I always try to move with the thought process of, if it's meant for me, it will be for me. And why try to insert myself or force myself into a situation that was ultimately not initially for me, you know? So I allow those roadblocks and I always find another route, always. Make my own damn path.
I know that's right.
It's the tokenization for me. We talked about I think the last 3 episodes we talked about that with our guests.
Yes, and they've all said the same thing.
In that world, and we are not looked at for our talent sometimes. I think it's we're looked at for the physicalness, right? What we can bring to the camera. What we can bring to the camera, girl. I don't know if I had a stroke.
Not the stroke.
I don't know what just happened. But what we can bring physically to the show, not what we can bring like talent wise. I think that is something that's always like, can I please not be the token? Can I please just come in here and like, what do y'all want? First of all, the question is, what do y'all want? If y'all want, let me hit the door right now. Let me put my bag on, put my purse on my clut, because I'm not about to give y'all that. I think that is something that
I think there's always a way to really circumvent it, right? Like, no matter what intentions people have for you, there's always a way to set your own intentions, much like you do, Courtney. And just like throw a curve, like, fuck y'all, and fuck what you thought. Like, this is how I'm coming in because this is going to be my narrative and I'm going to shape it. So regardless, I think, and I hope that's something that more of us can really come to the realization about, is that no matter how people try to tokenize us, we always have an option to break through that and to challenge it. Even if we have to deceive them a little bit at the beginning, like, it's like, boom, girl, you thought.
I mean, that's the game to play. Like, in every system, you have to at least give them a little bit, right? When you're in a job interview, in a job interview, what you want me to say? Like, I can tell you, yeah, I love Taylor Swift, but in the back of my head, I don't know any songs by her. But if y'all need me to say that on the camera, I'll be like, girl, I love Red. I love I love that about her. Right. But I think, when you get into that system and you can slowly but surely infiltrate, like, okay, in the meetings, how about we talk about, Lil Nas X's video? How about we start to, instead of coming in like, I'm about to fuck this shit up, because they're like, we can't have that threat right now.
That happened at my job, and her ass got booted right on there. I'll never forget it. Damn. She came right up on in there. She was like, girl, we need to talk about Usher. My boss was like, I said, no. She said, I said, girl, let's go outside. I said, girl, let's get a smoothie real quick, girl. Come on.
Right, let's go for a smoke break.
Like, girl,
I don't even smoke, but let's go to the water fountain real quick.
Girl, they about to put you out, girl. We don't need that to happen, girl. We need the rent paid.
Oh my God. So we talked about transforming. We talked about this transition as well. After being on the show, did you see a difference of how people interact? This is like a rhetorical question, of course, but did you see people act differently towards you? And how did you have to navigate after you were like this reality celebrity?
My brain literally just like sizzled. People have treated me different. People also haven't treated me different, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of navigating it, I'm just always polite. You never know. All it takes is one mean screenshot to cause chaos and confusion in your career. So I always just treat everybody with respect. Like, if you come up to me, I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna kiki with your mama. I'm gonna pet your dog. Like, and I've found that there are others in my community in general, in reality, that they allow people treating them different to allow them to act completely different. And I just try to be me 100% of the time. I'm just me. Like, you gonna still see me at the little raggedy bar in West Hollywood. You still gonna, like, I ain't gonna buy you no drink because I still ain't got no money. Like,
and we didn't win.
I clearly did not the fuck win. Like, I'm gonna take my ass to Insomnia Cookies. Like, ain't nothing really changed internally for me. But I think perception-wise for other people, they think I'm like some big shot. I'm like, bitch, this hat is from the Amazon for $10. Are you kidding me?
Your followers went up. I mean, the count went up. Girl, it was like he was on Drag Race. When they released the girls on Drag Race, overnight they get 2 million followers. You like, who?
I can't explain. I ain't never been afraid to wake up and open up my social media. I ain't never ever in my life, until I was on the circle, to refresh your Instagram and the shit just say 100 on all three, and I can't see. I don't know who's following me. There ain't no way to see who the verified people are. I'm like still finding people like from the reality community that have like been fine. I feel like a jerk because like I'm like late. I'm like trying to go through messages. It's a lot. And then on top of that, God forbid I open up the Facebook girl. They love to get my ass on the Facebook girl. They said who else hates Courtney as a whole ass solo post.
Oh my!
Am I the only one that hates Courtney? That shit had 300 comments. I said, I know y'all didn't. I know y'all didn't on Facebook get my ass.
Girl, no, they did.
Facebook and Twitter are the worst. The best places for me to hide out on social media as it relates to the circle is Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit, they'd be like, no, Courtney was getting their asses because if you've seen Survivor season 3 episode, bitch.
It's a game.
It's a game. Ain't nothing I did in that shit personal. We are on TV. We are on the Netflix. We are supposed to bring it. Like,
what's not clicking? What's not clicking?
I don't get that. I think that's the thing that bothers me is like, it is a game. Like, it is a game. And I get like, there's no hard feelings. Like, unless we did have like beef and like you said some disrespectful stuff in our late night chat, like this, we have to eliminate somebody eventually. You know, we have to do that. So why are we acting like I think that was always the weirdest thing to me. But knowing that you have these quote unquote, like, not quote unquote, these trolls, how have you been able to navigate like, girl, pay them girls dust? How have you been able to just like get through that? Because I know it's a little overwhelming.
I'll say this. Thankfully now it has quieted down. Mm-hmm. But for me, I think I had to reach a point personally when I just like woke up one day and I was like, hold on. Everybody on Twitter is mad as hell at me because it was a worldwide premiere. So it felt like everybody in the whole world was mad at my ass for going in and doing the damn thing, for going in and giving a show, which is what I signed paperwork to fucking do. I ain't fly from LA to Paris to Manchester to go up there and be boring as fuck and be a poodle in a fucking purse and go home fucking third. I wasn't about to do that.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't about to do that.
You said no. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. I just gave what I could give, y'all. Gave what I could give. Gave what I could give. Give what I could give.
It's not giving what it gave to the highest of giving when it needed to be give. I remember Doja said that.
It's just like at the end of the day, right? The people that are mad at me probably couldn't get on the show. And if they could get on the show, they damn sure couldn't beat me. Because if they could, they wouldn't be mad at the move that I made. You get what I'm saying? And that is why I got to a place where I just woke up one day and I decided that the only criticism I was going to accept that was critical of me was going to be from Deliso or Chloe, because they're the only two that could beat me, period.
I know that's right.
Clearly, like,
because y'all applied and y'all couldn't get on the show, but y'all mad at me that applied and made it on the show and was on every single episode.
Right.
Because I know if y'all, even if y'all did make it on the show, you would be an episode 1 feature. So
you'll be eliminated first person, bottom bitch, go,
bottom bitch, go. Hit the dryer because you are washed. Goodbye.
Wow. Well.
What's next for you?
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
What do you want to manifest? On that note,
I really would like to manifest my own celebrity interview podcast. I think that there are important conversations to be had that I think only my raggedy ass would think to have.
Period.
And I want to have them. So I want to manifest that. And I really would like to get into voice acting and fashion. Because I put her on the back burner for like a decade.
Right.
And I need to come out with some clothes, because that's what the girls ask. They want to know, are me and Lee friends? And where did I buy this? Bleep.
Yeah.
Where did you get this color block hoodie? Where did you get this? I might as well come out with my own shit and have y'all buy it, and then we all match.
Hey, girl, that's what the girls do. When they be coming off those shows, they be dropping music, they be dropping merch, they be dropping catchphrases.
I'll have to come out with the auto-tune joint. La la la. Right. Just jokes. Don't be mad. Just jokes. Have a little EDM beat in the back.
Right. The girls will eat it up. The girls will eat it up, and that's money in my pocket. They just want to hear you. So I think that is so funny. And what's been your most proud? What has been the most proudest moment in your career so far?
I think the most proudest moment in my career was when the circle finished, because the circle finale was on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me
Oh,
lose
wow.
publicly in front of the whole world. Get ready.
Wow.
I made peace with that shit several months ago. People were like, oh, you lost on your birthday. I said, bitch, I'm sipping a margarita and this phone
Girl,
is
I made
off.
it here.
I
made it here.
said, now good. Now like this picture for the engagement. Thank you.
Right.
My proudest moment was when the show was over and I like on TV and stuff, and I FaceTimed my dad, and my dad was like, he was just able to recall like so many moments. He was like, and you did that. He was like, and when you was in that, whenever that room was called with the Intergalactica, and you set up that plan, he was like, yo, that shit was hot. I was like, yes. And like, just we all say like we don't want our parents' approval, whatever. But for me personally, in my own relationship with my dad, it felt really nice. Just with everything we've been through, to have my dad on the FaceTime. He don't even know what a FaceTime is. His ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, you killed that. And I was like,
I did it, girl.
These internet bitches. My dad said I did that. So y'all good.
I
Keep on the
it.
rocks.
Right. I won. My dad said what needed to be said. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but
dad's approval, got the friends, on TV, will be on TV again.
Yeah, and money. You know, money is coming somewhere, somehow. Like, I didn't win, but I won. I got a check, which y'all.
Oh, yes. Brand deals. I said, y'all got BlendJet too? Ring. Press the button. Brand deals. Okay.
Money calling. What Cash Doll say? Money calling.
Money calling.
I said, what y'all want me to promote? Because, girl, I'll use that girl on the Instagram story. Yes, girl. Smoothies. Oh, yeah. She does it all.
Smoothie. When you lactose intolerant, I love dairy. Dairy has been the best thing in my life.
No, you use the oat milk. Dairy alternatives for the girls with the bubbly guts. Yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you lactose? Are you lactose? Well, here you go, girl.
We got Miss Silk for you, girl.
Bam. Courtney, thank you so much for being. We could talk for hours with you. We sure could. We really appreciate that. What do you? Is there anything you want to leave our listeners, our viewers, with before we wrap up this episode?
To the listeners, whatever you do, just do it with your full ass, because nobody likes a half ass. So you got to do that shit with both cheeks, for real. And I meant that.
Joe. Period. Period. Don't want no half ass. Don't like.
You got to do that shit with both cheeks, the full bubble. Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for being a guest. Like I said, we could have talked for hours about so much more, but where can our listeners, viewers, follow you at on the socials?
You can find me on Instagram, Courtney Revolution, TikTok, and Twitter, Court Revolution, and I do have my own podcast, Overheard in the Pantry. Come have a little listen.
Yes. And you all know what we're about to do. If you all would like to continue the conversation with me on my social media, you all can hit me up at _lordevery. That is _LORDEVERY on Instagram and Twitter.
And you guys know that you can find me on Instagram at derwinking. That's DERWINKING. And on Twitter at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
And if you all would like to continue the conversation on the podcast and social media, you can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at @BlackBoyJoy. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or just write into us, you can hit us up at thatblackboyjoypodcast@gmail.com. And you all can check out our videos on YouTube that we have uploaded so far. We're going to get them more up there eventually, but whatever. But like we always tell our guests, like we always tell our listeners, please be so in love with who you are.
I'm talking about the bad boy Joe.